Hey Woodhaven family, and welcome back to the Journey 24/7 podcast. This is Chandler here with you again. Hope you're having a great Thursday so far. Today we're going to be picking up in Genesis 44. Now this chapter is really setting the stage for what we're going to see tomorrow in chapter 45. So today's going to be a little bit shorter. But this chapter opens up with Joseph sending his brothers on their way. Now remember, Joseph still has not revealed his identity to them. But before he sends them on their way, he instructs the steward of the house to go and put his silver cup in Benjamin's sack. He's doing this to test his brothers, as we're going to see. So he sends them on their way. Well, they get a little bit ways away, and he sends somebody to come down and accuse them of stealing something from him. And all the brothers say, no, we didn't steal. Well, Joseph's steward says, well, let me check all your bags, and if anyone has it, I'm taking them with me. And so they open up their bags from oldest to youngest, and then it gets to Benjamin, and he opens it up, and it's there. And we see that all the brothers tore their clothes. If you remember, we saw that back in chapter 37, when Jacob tore his clothes when he thought that Joseph had been killed. It's just that sign of just anguish and despair and mourning. Because his brothers are seeing here, and they think, well, Benjamin, we're not going to be able to bring him back to our father. They don't really know what's going to happen to him. For all they know, he may get put to death. And so they're scared. Well, all the brothers head back, not just Benjamin, and they come to Joseph. When they get there, Joseph tells them that they can all go back. He's just going to keep Benjamin. But Judah speaks up, and he pleads with Joseph. Again, not realizing it's Joseph. He pleads with Joseph to spare his brother, to spare Benjamin. He tells Joseph about all it took for them to be able to bring Benjamin and how much despair Jacob is in. Just at the fact that he's already lost one son in Joseph in his mind, and he can't bear to lose his other son. Again, the only two sons that came from Rachel. Remember why that's so important. If we remember back to the story of Leah and Rachel, Jacob's favorite was always Rachel. That was always his wife that he loved more. And so these are the only two sons that she actually had, were Joseph and Benjamin. It's why they're so important to him. Joseph was his firstborn with her. It's why he was always the favorite. Now Benjamin's the only one in Jacob's mind that's still left that came from Rachel. These are extremely important to him. And so Judah says, look, my father will not be able to withstand this. He won't be able to take losing another son. He finishes his plea by saying, for how can I go back to my father if the boy is not with me? I fear to see the evil that would find my father. And so what we're seeing here is in Judah, remember we've talked about his continued growth, going from the brother that proposed selling Joseph into slavery to then impregnating a prostitute that was actually his daughter-in-law just in disguise, to then recognizing his own sin in that, and recognizing how he was not righteous on his own, that he was a sinful being, to now the growth of standing up, and instead of just fleeing when he had the opportunity to protect himself, speaking up for his younger brother, defending his younger brother. And Joseph sees this. And what we're going to see tomorrow is just how Joseph responds to this, and ultimately how he's going to reveal himself to his brothers. So come back with us tomorrow as we jump into Genesis 45 and we see the culmination of all these last few chapters come to a head, and how Joseph reveals himself to his brothers and how they respond. Hope you all have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow on Friday as we finish up this week's study in Genesis 45.